Just one quick little tip when doing stuff like this. Get yourself some baggies, a little permanent marker, and label and write down a little note for all the pieces you take apart. And snap some pictures. I'll be recording everything, so I'll have some video to go back and look at. But that should help you along the way. Here's the bumper already removed. Just want to quickly go over what you have to do to get it detached from the vehicle as far as bolts and stuff go. So on the bottom side there are a lot of bolts connected through the under tray to the bottom of the bumper. You'll have to remove all of those. On the top, these are all plastic clips and rivets. They also connect through the radiator shroud. And then there's one bolt in each corner of the bumper that is going to need to come out, and you have to go through the wheel well to get to that. The battery disconnected now because we're going to be removing a bunch of harness clips and doing all kinds of stuff from here on out, so that needs to stay off. Alright, so after taking a little nap last night, I came back out this morning to try tackling this corner. It just felt really tight and I was afraid to pull on it too hard. But I looked at the 370 diagrams again, and I remember from when I had a 370, well, two of them, and taking the bumper off more times than I could count, that there's no way it could be attached to anything else other than some clips inside. So anyway, came back out fresh this morning, just gave it a little tug, and it did come off. If you want, I would suggest putting some tape here when you go to pop this off, because it is under a lot of pressure, and it's just to help in case you were to lose, control of it or something, that it doesn't, pop out of your hands and hit the fender, make a little mark. But I want to do this one on the actual removal video here for you, so you can see how tight that it is, so you're not afraid to just do what you got to do to get it off. So you're going to want to pull down a little here to get it off of the hang on, let me turn my camera light on, to get it off of the little yellow clip. There it is. It's just barely on there. So you're going to pull down on it to get it away from that. I gotta set this down. So pull down a little, you'll feel it pop off of that, and then you can give this a nice tug. And it doesn't like coming off of there, which is how it's supposed to work, but it does. And then there's going to be a couple more around the headlights that are kind of tight. Trying to think what the best way to get my hands behind here would be. Alright, so I got this side pulled off now. It comes off real easy from the headlights. There's the couple clips that are holding that on. Come over and do this side for you this time. By the way, let's just stop and take a second to look at that paint, man. This white is just so unbelievably beautiful in person. Camera doesn't even do it justice. So to get this side off, put my camera in my armpit. Oh yeah, look at that. So I just pulled here and kind of like down and forward, and she popped right off the other side. Of course, now that I got the camera going over here, it's not wanting to do it, but there it goes. Alright. Alright, so we're about to hopefully get all the wiring harness clips off pretty easily from here. I just laid this blanket on the floor. Well, it's not really a blanket, it's like a felt material to set the bumper on so we don't scratch it up. Alright, well, we got the whole harness off of the front bumper, so it's good to go and put it out of the way for a while. And then I realized that. Remove those two clips and this whole harness would have came off and stayed attached to the bumper. That's what you get for doing things too early in the morning. So I got it off, but it definitely wasn't the ideal method. Okay, so I spent the last 20 minutes or better. I took these off of this bracket, used some needle nose pliers on the backside just to squeeze those in to where I could pull them out, because I could not get these clips to come out. Even after I pulled them off of the bracket and was able to use both hands real good, you know, and feel secure with them, it was still just a real pain. I'm surprised. This one was easier than this top one, but I did struggle with both. So actually, now circling back to just pulling the whole harness out, if you find yourself struggling with these, it may just be easier to, you know, take the harness out and just leave it attached here. But anyway, thought I'd share that as well. Okay, so one thing I noticed is this clip here. I've never seen one of these clips before. It's quite strange. I was just gonna cut this zip tie to, you know, continue on removing the harness. But then I noticed there's a bunch of those all the way from one side to the other. I personally don't want to cut that many zip ties and try to reconnect it in any way other than how it's just designed. So they're a little bit of a pain, but I found getting a little tiny flathead screwdriver, if you have one, up in there. That's the best way I found to do it so far. It's clearly not the correct way, but I think it's going to work and still allow them to be reused and bite back down on it. They have like little metal teeth inside. I can see that one bent out, so I'll bend it back in before I put it back on. But those little teeth are the problem. They're biting into that plastic and they don't want to let go. But I want to make sure I reuse all of them best I can and not have to cut all those zip ties. Alright, there we go. Front bumper's completely off. I'm going to reattach the wiring harness while it's sitting up on my pool table so I don't have to bend over to do it. And yeah, we learned a little lesson with these cars with these sensors all over them. I never dealt with them before. Hopefully watching this helps you out when you go to do it.